Okay. Bam! Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday night comic book preview stream here at Fantasy Books and Games. I'm Aaron. This is
Hey,
Sam,
what up?
and we're going to talk about some new comics that are coming out tomorrow.
Sounds great.
Not as many new number one books as last week.
I noticed
There was
that.
a whole lot of those. There was like 6 or 7, I think, that
Yeah.
like we talked about on the stream. This week, not as many, but that's kind of a big stack of stuff in my regular poll. So,
Facsimiles or what is
well,
it?
there are actually 4 full
Oh,
facsimiles coming out tomorrow, so I'm
nice.
excited to talk about those. But there's some other choice releases. There is one new graphic novel that I'm very excited about. We'll
Is it?
talk about that.
Okay,
You
I
know
think I
what it
know
is.
what it
You know
is.
what it
Yeah.
is. It's the thing I'm always excited about. But yeah, we'll just do what we always do and jump right in with the facsimiles. Dark Knight Returns number 4. You can see it on the screen here. Comes out
Ooh.
tomorrow. This is the final issue of Frank Miller's legendary Batman run, and this is the issue. This is the
Mm-hmm.
Batman versus Superman issue, and it's like just cool art, cool story. Like we've talked about it before. I mean, look, Batman on a horse. What more needs really to be said about this comic? But it does have just like that great.
Oh, when the
He's
nuke
got the
gets fired.
mutant game,
Yeah.
yeah, the gang, and just really cool stuff.
It's been a while since I've read that
You
one.
know what? It's worth rereading.
Mm-hmm.
I've reread this book a few times, and I always like I always kind of come back out of it like with a little bit of a different perspective on it.
Yeah.
Like was when the first time I read it, it was one of those books that kind of blew my mind because it's just so different from other comics.
Yeah.
And then now reading it like the third or fourth time, so many decades later, I'm like, oh, this is I mentioned this at the last issue. It's so like such an '80s book.
Yes.
It is very tied to its time in a weird way that it's so progressive, but also now at this point kind of vintage. It's an interesting thing. But anyway, it's a cool book.
Yeah.
Also coming out tomorrow, cool facsimile. Maybe not quite as
Different kind of
different
cool.
kind of cool. Maybe not the same industry prestige as Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Archie's TV Laugh Out. This number 79, and I really love that Archie has been reprinting a lot of these classic issues.
Mm-hmm.
This issue is from I saw conflicting dates. I think the press release for it said 1980, but I think it originally came out in 82,
Okay.
which makes this comic as old as I am. But this comic is just getting a reprint because it's a funny cover. Like
Oh, that's
that's
it?
it. It's just a fun. It's a fun cover. Like it's Jaws, and he makes the Jaws thing out of the sand. And you know what? I like that they're doing that though, because like Archie does have a lot of classic covers, and I think it's great that they're just doing these facsimile issues.
Nice.
I'm not even going to flip through it. What is there to say about Archie? It's got a Sabrina the Teenage Witch story. It's got Archie comics.
Okay.
If you like Archie, you know you're going to like this.
Right.
Few other, some, in my opinion, really important facsimiles coming out tomorrow. First, we have another one from DC, Saga
Ooh.
of the Swamp Thing,
Oh my
number
goodness.
21. And you know what issue this is?
Which is that's not the John Constantine intro, is it?
No.
No. Okay.
This is the second issue of Alan Moore's run, and
Oh.
this is the issue where he revamps Swamp Thing's origin, where
Right.
he completely recontextualizes it. Because up until this point, Swamp Thing was kind of a standard monster comic book monster character,
Right.
where he was a guy that got murdered and dumped in a swamp with toxic chemicals, and the chemicals mixed with the swamp and turned him into a swamp monster.
And now it's he
It
was never the man at all.
correct, yeah. The man that was thrown into the swamp, his consciousness imprinted on this like magical
Oh
elemental that
yeah.
was in the swamp, and so it again, it's like it's similar. Like if you want to get really philosophical about it, like
Hmm.
what are we? Are we our consciousness, or are we our bodies? And there's a little bit of that angle going on with this, but it gives it that a little extra push where it stops being just a pulpy comic book character and gets just that little extra level of I guess philosophy, or
Yeah.
just like thinking about bigger ideas,
Right.
and it's just this idea that it's like animated uh, swamp creature that is like trying to be a man as
Yeah.
opposed to a man who's been turned into a swamp creature. And it's really neat, and it's obviously it's the beginning of a legendary run, which culminates in the Rick Veitch run, which is getting its final actual finish recently. We talked last month
Mm-hmm.
with issue 1 of Swamp Thing 1989. Issue 2 also comes out tomorrow. We'll talk about
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I think it's really cool that DC is doing these facsimiles. I've read most of Alan Moore's run of Swamp Thing, but I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna buy any more trades, and I'm probably just gonna hunt down all the back issues.
Yeah, that's
So,
fair.
but I appreciate these facsimiles; they make it a little bit easier.
Right.
Because they also last year they did a facsimile of the first Constantine, so I was able to grab that. So it's like, okay, originals are nice, but again, just to repeat myself, I say it every week. The quality of DC's facsimiles is chef's kiss. Like they're
Excellent.
so good to the point where, like, as a reader, I think in many ways they're better for reading than the original copies because they're not going to have 40 years of age on them. They're so minty fresh, but also they look fantastic just the way they would have originally looked
Right.
when they were originally printed. So yeah, really cool that printing that facsimile. Another really cool facsimile coming out tomorrow. This one, I'm
Nice.
maybe the most excited about this one. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
This is JLA Avengers #1. This is the series by Kurt Busiek and George Perez, the legend George Perez.
Oh.
And this series, it has been reprinted, but only like in like weird technical senses. Like it was originally came out in 2004. It got a trade paperback, and then it went out of print because for like 20 years, DC and Marvel were not talking, and they were not collaborating, and they were not reprinting any of their crossover books. And then a few years ago, when George Perez was in ill health, I forget who but somebody kind of spearheaded this idea that Marvel and DC would quickly put aside their corporate differences and print a very small batch hardcover like reprint to raise money for George so that he could cover medical expenses in his twilight years. And so that was really nice that they did that. But that book was also really hard to come by because they only printed like I don't know, like 3,000 copies.
That's crazy.
And
people would want that one.
Well, they did, and we ended up this. I was like 4 years ago, I think at this point. I want to say 2021, 2022, and like we didn't even sell it. Like we only got like we would have gotten as many as we could, but we could only get one, maybe two copies, because it was allocated.
Yeah.
And so we like raffled it off, I think, and then donated the money to charity or something,
cool.
because it's like it was such an in-demand book because it at that point had never been reprinted, and the original issues, back issues, were not cover price. We'll say that, because again, at that time, Marvel and DC were not reprinting any of their crossover stuff. But now, here we are in the year 2026. They celebrated the 50th anniversary of Superman Spider-Man crossover from 1976.
Yeah.
They did all of their crossovers last year and this year, the Batman and Deadpool, Superman and Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping, and it came true, they are going to reprint JLA Avengers. So if you missed it the first time, if you missed it the second time, third time's the charm. You can get it now in all of its original glory. And I had never read this series, so I'm not to get too much into my personal history, but I think at the time I was buying comics when this came out. And as much as I appreciated superhero comics, I think 2004 this could not have been more like old school, lame. I was reading Grant Morrison and Brian Michael Bendis books, and I liked Kurt Busiek, but George Perez, I didn't really have the appreciation for him then that I have now. So I am excited to read this. This looks really neat. But I don't have much else to say about it.
It looks cool.
Yeah, very, very cool. All right. There is a hardcover coming out tomorrow. This is again, there's like a lot of stuff coming out tomorrow that I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited about, and this might be one of the things I'm most excited about.
I think it's honestly one of the things I'm most excited about
Right?
for
A
tomorrow.
new
Yeah.
criminal hardcover. I
Yeah.
mean, I like Brubaker and Phillips. These guys are instant buys for me, no matter
Yes.
what they do. But I especially love that they're doing more criminal. I think the series is going on at Amazon. I don't pay attention to like streaming TV or anything.
I thought it was a Hulu thing, or was it Amazon? I don't
I don't. I
remember.
do not know.
Yeah.
But you know, so I'm not surprised that they're doing more criminal. Last year they did the Giant Size Criminal #1, and while I haven't had a chance to read through the this hardcover, it does reprint this issue in
Oh,
it.
okay.
So this is like an anthology series, and so the first story in this is the first story in uh, the giant sized criminal. As you can see, the high roller is the name of the story.
I think.
So
Yeah.
it tells that story, but then it tells like 3 or 4 more. Oops, I guess
Whoop.
I got to be careful about which pages I turn to here. But yeah, there's the girl from nowhere, and all the stories are about Ricky Lawless, who is one of the main characters of Criminal.
Mhm.
It's an anthology series, so there's a lot of characters in it, but Ricky is, he's everybody's kind of favorite, down in his luck,
Yeah.
loser criminal guy. But yeah, very looking forward to reading this. Oh my gosh, yes, very
Nice.
excited. Let's see. There's some other like notable things coming out tomorrow. We
Mhm.
have Batman #163. This is the final issue, or I should say, issue 6 of Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee's Hush 2 series. It's I guess I don't want to really spoil anything. I don't know what I don't know what haven't been reading this, but I don't know what the press releases are saying about it.
Yeah.
But
I honestly don't. I've been reading it, but I don't remember just because there have been so many
I mean,
delays.
it's like the first issue came out like issue 158, I think was the first.
That sounds about
It's
right.
There's only been 6 issues of it,
Right.
and it came out like 15 months ago.
Yeah.
It's like so delayed,
Mm.
and nobody's really surprised, but still, it's like it's so far behind. But this does at least wrap up the story arc, this 6 issue story arc,
Yeah.
and then we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah,
It's Batman.
it's Batman, it's Jim
Hush.
Lee, it's Hush. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Oh, another notable thing. This is like kind of new.
Okay.
This is Capes #7. This is, if you recall, the first 6 issues of Capes were reprinting the original 6 issues that came out 20 years ago.
Right.
Issue 7 starts new comics.
Okay.
So they're telling more Capes stories by artist Benito Cerno and the same artist, Mark Englert. So the first 6 issues were written by Robert Kirkman, and now he's got one of his buddies who's written some other Invincible spinoff stuff. He's taking over for this.
Cool.
But also, it does contain a short 4-page story about Elemental, who is the new character that Kirkman created for Invincible. I think she debuted in that the video game, the Invincible. I don't remember what it was called, the fighting game.
Yeah.
So this is, I guess, I mean, you could technically say it's her first appearance in a comic book. Is this issue?
That's pretty cool.
She was on the cover of the exclusive Free Comic Book Day cover facsimile reprint of #1 that came with the video game that we had.
Right.
But this is the first like her story being told in this. So I'm not, when we do this stream, I'm not really like calling out like key issues or things that people should look for, but I think that's this. If she appeared in something else, I don't know. But as I understand it, this is the beginning of her story. But also notable for like all you Invincible fans out there is that this does take place in the like Invincible timeline, and I appreciate that they specifically say like this takes place between Invincible 71 and 78.
Nice editor's
note. Yes, editor's note. We were talking about those earlier today, and how I feel like a lot of comics could use them.
Yeah.
Because like again, I think we talked about this with the last issue of Capes, and I'm just going to repeat myself. But I think Kirkman found a really good way to give fans of Invincible more like Invincible type stuff without just redoing Invincible.
Yeah.
So you get to see like newer characters, but they make mention of Invincible characters. I don't doubt that some of them will show up in this series, at some point. And like I said, the backup story, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's going to be serialized across the back of it. It sort of felt like it would be. So you do get an Invincible character written by Kirkman, like as a backup story in the issue. So yeah, very cool stuff. I liked it a lot. It did just give me that feeling of reading Invincible back in the day. So again, if you're chasing that feeling, man, this and Battle Beasts, like, there's a lot of stuff out there for the fans, I guess is all I'm saying. Oh yeah, this we mentioned this earlier. Swamp Thing number 89, and I do like that they're kind of keeping the, like, this. It almost feels like a facsimile, but again, like I said with the first one, it's a facsimile of an issue that was never printed. It never existed,
so cool.
and this is all new material. The previous issue was mostly completed back in 1989. And then they got shelved, which we talked about that when it came out. You can Google the story. It's all the information is out there. But now we're like finally seeing it continue. Swamp Thing is on his adventure, being thrown through time, and it's written by Rick Veitch, art by Tom Mandrake. I liked this issue.
Did you read it?
I did read it.
Yeah.
I did get a chance to read it, and it's really good. Again, as somebody who has not read any of Rick Veitch's run, I've read a big chunk of Moore's run, but I'm kind of jumping into Rick Veitch's run cold, and I like this. I mean, admittedly, you know, I'm an old guy. I like my old guy comics, and this has that retro comics feel where I feel like every issue is kind of made where anybody can kind of jump into it, and so this has that for sure. But also there was some stuff where I'm like, man, I'm so like, this is clearly culminating a storyline that's been going on for years, and I don't know all the minutia, but you can kind of follow what's going on, and it explains certain things.
It was a very cool feeling to open up that previous issue, knowing that like it was a product of its time. Even all the advertisements were old and stuff like that, but it had never seen the light of day.
Right? Yeah, and you got the same thing in this. They have the old. Like the old style indicia here, and like here's all the new books that would have been coming out that month. Cool. You know, yeah, I know, yeah, and they've got like ads in the back for DC books that, you know, would have been advertising at the time. So it really does, like, it's gonna slide right into your back issue collection. Like the previous issue, it does have some classic DC characters that show up. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, it's just really good. And again, like I'm kind of like being forced into this Swamp Thing kick right now, but I'm probably going to go down a big Swamp Thing hole. There's a big deluxe hardcover coming out later this year that reprints all of the original Swamp Thing stuff by Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson, and it's been recolored by Jose Villalobula. I don't remember how to pronounce his name, but he's a very good colorist. And again, I know DC puts in the work to make it look good, and so I know these pages, they're not going to look like trashy recolors. They're going to look like the original colors. Nice. So I'm very excited for that, and I'm probably going to get that instead of tracking down back issues. I'll probably track down back issues for the 80s Swamp Thing though.
I think I have a soft cover of the Bernie Wrightson run. But yeah, it was good stuff.
It's cool stuff. Just classic 70s monster comics. But anyway, yeah, Swamp Thing's kind of having a moment right now, and I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too.
All right, couple of, again, like no real number ones. Briefly mention Absolute Wonder Woman number 20 is coming out. I haven't really had a chance to read this, but just, you know, continuing what we've said in previous weeks, I think this is probably the best of the Absolute books. It's up there for sure. Another thing, Lexi, worth noting, you know, I'll briefly mention Conan the Barbarian, Titans, Conan, Jim Zub. I forget which cover this is. They always have like so many different covers. But yeah, it's cool Barbarian comics. I think Titan's been doing really good stuff with Conan, and the numbers prove it. Like, I don't think Conan has sold as well as it does in the last couple of years. Then the last couple of years, it's sold better than like decades.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's free from the copyright drama, and so the people that are making this are people that want to make it, and they're really dedicated to it. So yeah, good stuff. This is another one that I did get a chance to read. This is The Hab number 2 by Joshua Dysart and David Lapham and Bill Sienkiewicz. We talked about issue 1. I think we both really loved it.
I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
I really liked issue 2.
Yeah.
So it keeps the momentum going. It's this weird kind of horror mystery. Yeah, really, really, really good.
Okay. Cool.
I don't want to like spoil anything, but it it does a good job of teetering right on the edge of like, is it gonna go weird supernatural or
Okay.
not? So it feels, I think we equated it to like The Thing last week. It's very
Yeah.
much like that. It's like The Abyss and The Thing and those types of like isolated horror where you have people just kind of trapped in a space and something weird is happening. Really, really good. Highly, highly recommend it. All right, I've been doing a lot of talking, Sam. What's something you got to show off?
I have to show off Doom Quest #1.
All
It comes out
right.
tomorrow by Ryan North, Francesco Mobili, and Frank D'Armata.
Yeah, Frank D'Armata.
Oh, there we are.
All right. Now, I have not been following the Fantastic Four or any of the Doom stuff at Marvel.
Yeah.
Have you?
A little bit.
Okay.
So he's been making appearances, or well, not so much appearances, but the current Captain America run deals a lot with the downfall of Doom and what's happening to Latveria in his absence. I followed the Fantastic Four a little bit, and then I did the Doom, or the One World Under Doom stuff, which I thought was pretty decent. I didn't get a chance to read this. I flipped through it, and I genuinely have no idea what the book's about. If it's like in the current continuity, I guess it's like a backstory into, something Doom did maybe before he, went away or whatever.
I gotcha.
And but the art looks cool.
It does look good.
Yeah.
It's a good looking book.
And it does look like it gets into some wacky Fantastic Four-esque science and stuff.
That's nice.
So,
nice double-page spread there.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah. I think, and I've been reading a lot of what Ryan North's been putting out, and I think he's been doing a good job. So,
yeah, he's one of the writers that regularly gets recommended to me, like his Fantastic Four run. I still haven't jumped into it. I think I said I would at some point, and I haven't done it yet. But yeah, he's got his fans out there.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Let's see, something else. I think I don't remember if I talked about issue 2 of this or not, but Rocketeer the Island #3. This is a 4-issue Rocketeer series, and I recommend it because it has King Kong in it. I mean, they kind of buried the lead in the first issue. They kind of teased what it was about, but here we are in issue 3, and it's no longer a secret. It's Rocketeer versus King Kong.
Oh, it's legitimately
King Kong.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I did the same thing. Like they're on Skull Island, and like it's actually King Kong.
Oh, I love.
And yeah, there's dinosaurs. Oh yeah, art is great.
Yeah.
I really like the. It's got that like Darwin Cook Good Girl style.
That's why I like
it. It's not like, I think I talked about this once. Yeah, see, there we go. Kong double-page spread. That's nice.
That's
cool.
That
is cool. So this is a cool book. I mean, I love the Rocketeer. I'm a big fan, but I think this is cool. Like the first issue, Popeye is in it. There's a few like little Easter eggs, like Tintin, Popeye, and some other characters. And then it's just full on King Kong. So yeah, definitely check this one out. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
I've got 2 books by Rick Remender here, both coming out tomorrow. We have Escape #7 and The Seasons returns with issue 10. I've not really had a chance to flip through either of these, but I recommend both of them. They're both really good. The Seasons is drawn by Paul Azaceta, who's an artist that I really love, and I recommended this one by saying it's sort of like Studio Ghibli, but with like a little bit of a horror tinge to it.
I remember you saying that.
And it's like fun and quirky, and the main character is like this little like teenage girl, and she's trying to save her 4 sisters from this magical thing that's happening. Her parents are missing, but it gets just a little dark. It's like as a better actually, instead of just saying horror, it's more like mixing like a dark 80s Henson type of, like, it's like Labyrinth.
Okay.
It's like Studio Ghibli with Labyrinth.
With a little
a little bit of Labyrinth, and the other one, the
Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's like a little bit of that mixed in there.
Okay.
I like it a lot. It comes out really slowly, so this is definitely one of those books that, you know, read it by trade, or when the hard deluxe hard complete edition comes out, I'm sure it'll be a great read. I really like the issues, and I've been getting it since issue 1, so I'm in for the long run now. But yeah, definitely highly recommend this. And then Escape is just straight up World War II action, but with talking animals. And so it's kind of like it's like Sergeant Rock comics by way of Mouse, by way of Black Sad. All great comics. Like, I really like the art. This is by Daniel Acuna, and he follows in the Black Sad tradition, where the animal people are depicted kind of realistically,
Right.
but with human features. Like, they have hands, and they're bipedal, of course.
Right.
But then they're not like cartoon characters,
And in this book, it's the dogs versus the bats, right?
Yes, yeah. The dogs are Americans and the bats are the Nazis.
Right.
And it's really good. It's like I said, it's like gritty Sergeant Rock. I think Remender said in like one of the back matters that this is kind of his tribute to his grandpa who fought in the war.
Nice.
And yeah, it's cool war comics, but with like a unique visual flair to them.
Nice.
Let's see here. Let's see. I think you have.
I got
one more to talk about.
Yeah, we both did Swamp Thing.
That's right.
Yeah, I have not gotten a chance to read it, but I also picked out X-Men 30.
Okay.
This is part of Jed MacKay's run.
Let's put that down on the big screen.
So, like I said, I haven't gotten a chance to read this issue, but in this current arc, the X-Men of the Alaska contingency are fighting up against a group that calls themselves the Danger Room.
Oh, that's like the group's name.
The group is the Danger Room, and like the composition of the group is pretty cool. Like they're
is that this team right here? Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember. It's been a while since I read the issue where they talked about their backstories, but these two dudes are like convinced ever since Secret Invasion that they're actually Skrulls. They're legitimately
yeah.
And it's just a group of people who just want to mess with mutants.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're definitely doing that in full force. Yeah.
Well, nice. You've been enjoying the Jed MacKay run on X-Men
quite a bit.
How is it bounced back after the Age of Revelation stuff? And I don't mean bounce back like, I just mean that story like kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. How do they reset after that?
So there are some repercussions from that storyline that I think are going to be addressed in the next. You're going to hate this. The next event.
Of course. I mean, that's the MO these days.
Yeah.
I know that's how it's done.
I can't remember what that event is going to be called, but I'm actually pretty excited about
that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, something to do with a new virus. It sounded kind of like the Legacy virus, but they're not calling it that.
Okay.
But yeah, this is.
Was it something that takes away mutant powers?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think they're like the opposite.
Aren't they doing a thing where like humans are getting turned into mutants, right?
Or dying.
Or dying. Okay. So yeah, there's some stakes there.
Yeah.
You don't just get superpowers.
Right. Yeah.
Well, cool. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Also coming out tomorrow, issue 4 of Phantom of the Opera, final issue. Again, just recommending. I like all these Universal Monsters books that Skybound has been doing. I like that they're all like a tight 4 issues. You just get, the storytelling is just really good. You kind of get the whole story just across those 4. They're all uniform. Yeah, just solid stuff. I mean, this one, I think more than any of them, I think Dracula also kind of just followed the original story pretty closely. And this one, have you been reading Phantom of the Opera?
I think I'm an issue or 2 behind. I remember, I think I read the first 2 maybe.
Okay.
Maybe the third one. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm not super familiar with Phantom of the Opera, but as I understand it, this one it just follows the original musical pretty accurately. It's got cool art. I think that's what makes it work really well. I like the painting.
Yeah.
This is by Martin Simmons. Did he also do Dracula? He might have, now that I think about it. But yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool comic. Like if you like the classic Universal Monsters horror stuff, which I do, Yeah, and even though Phantom of the Opera is a lot more recent than like the Creature from the Black Lagoon
Right.
or Dracula or Frankenstein. Next up is Wolfman. I'm very excited for that
Oh,
one.
that sounds
I
cool.
forgot which creators. They announced the creators, and it's somebody I'm really excited. Oh, I think it's Joshua Williamson is writing it.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, he's doing G.I. Joe and Superman. And
Yeah.
he's doing cool stuff right now, so that'll be cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Also coming out tomorrow. Oh, there is a new like a number one. I forgot I was going to mention this. There's a new Berserker book.
Oh, okay.
The famous Keanu Reeves vehicle. Yeah, they're still doing new ones. I appreciate that they do these one shots just periodically. Oh yeah, this one really. This is a bloody book. I don't think it's a problem showing this one, but yeah, look at that guy just
Whoa,
getting
oh my
cut.
God.
Boom. Yeah, pretty bloody. But I do like that they do these one shots because like the character he's this immortal warrior character and
It's
the
kind of
first
like Eternal Warrior.
yeah,
right?
yeah, he's an eternal ageless warrior. And the first series was bouncing back and forth. The 12-issue story was like, him in the present day trying to recover his memories, and then flashbacks to like caveman times,
Yeah.
where he's this ancient guy. And then they do these one shots where it's just like, here's an adventure that he had at a random point in history. So, there's like Viking time story. There's a Byzantine Empire story. There's a Western story that's set in like America, 18 something.
Oh, that's cool.
And I haven't even looked at what this one is, but looks kind of caveman-ish just from the cover.
Prehistoric.
Yeah, but I like that also they get different creators to do these too. So you kind of get just I like that it's just some creators they got a berserker story they want to tell. You get to put it out, and that I think it's a good way to kind of keep the character around without doing another like story,
Right.
like in the present day.
I'm glad that it's like kind of what we've talked about in the past. It seems like they want to make the comics and it's not just a vehicle for this hypothetical
Right.
Netflix show.
Because the
that
first
may or
12
may not
issues
happen.
definitely felt like we're pitching a TV show
Sure.
starring Keanu Reeves. And they
Yeah.
were good comics, but it definitely felt like that.
Right.
And this is just like, hey, let's just give him some backstory and just make cool comics. And
Yeah,
I
that's
appreciate
awesome.
that. Yeah. Let's see. I got a couple of other books I'm going to briefly mention here. The Sentry #3. This might be the only Marvel comic that I'm following regularly.
Wow.
It's written by Paul Jenkins, the original creator of the Sentry, and I have been enjoying this. It feels like it's a direct sequel to the original series.
Okay.
And the art, I talked about this, I think, before. Rosado, Christian Rosado. It's not Jay Lee, the original artist on it, but he's definitely doing that early 2000s deconstructed era comics vibe.
Yeah.
So he's a good match for it looks very much like Jay Lee's art. I wouldn't be surprised if he studied Jay Lee's original panels very closely. But yeah, this is good. So I am enjoying this. I've talked before. Sentry's not like my favorite comic in the world. It blew my mind the first time I read it. I was a young teenager, and I was like, wow, all this like meta commentary. This is really smart. And that was before I had read Swamp Thing or Miracle Man or Watchmen, even or pretty much every Alan Moore and Grant Morrison comic. But anyway, I still enjoy this because it gives me that old school feeling, that old early 2000s feeling, which early 2000s were the simpler times of post 9/11 world. Also coming out tomorrow, The Brutal Dark, and Ezra, The Peril of the Brutal Dark by Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. Jacob Phillips, the son of Sean Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Phillips also does the colors on Criminal with his father does the art and Jacob does the coloring. So I really enjoy this. Let me put this on the big screen here. There we go. Also, just inadvertently, really looking forward to this ad for Dead Man.
Oh, nice.
This is the creator, the guys that do Ice Cream Man, and they did Superman Kryptonite Spectrum. Now they're doing a Dead Man story.
Is it
So
an ongoing?
it's going to be a mini series, like a
Okay.
5-issue mini series. But hey, I am ready for it.
And it's got the next level.
Yeah,
going on,
yeah. So very, very cool.
yeah.
But yeah, this is just a fun, pulpy action mystery with like a little bit of supernatural element to it. It's I think I described it last time like it's like a detective story, but Indiana Jones is the detective.
Right.
You know, so it's got a little bit of that two-fisted action, a little bit of maybe supernatural kind of mystery angle, but also just like hard-boiled detective stuff.
Mhm.
Really, really like it. The new Vertigo books have been off to a really strong start, and I'm glad. I'm happy about that because Vertigo was such an important thing at one point in time, and I really want DC to recapture that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like this one a lot. All right, one more book to talk about, and then we'll be out of here. This is an actual new number one, and I did get a chance to read this one. This is Superman, Father of Tomorrow.
Nice.
This is an Elseworld story where Jor-El comes to Earth instead of Kal-El, and I think that's really all I need to say about it.
Yeah.
You know, like it didn't make any wild twists. It's pretty much exactly what you expect from a story where it's
Okay.
Elseworlds, where Jor-El shows up. But I liked it, and it kind of follows like a little bit of the original Superman origin. You know, these were all in like preview pages where he shows up on the Kent family farm,
Yeah.
and instead of being their like adoptive son, he kind of becomes like a stepbrother to Jonathan Kent, and they just work on the farm. And the main kind of crisis is that Jor-El struggles with like should he use his not because he's a Kryptonian scientist, so
Right.
should he use his knowledge in Kryptonian technology to improve the lives of Earthlings, or should he stay out of it and just let them do their thing? And obviously that gets resolved at some point when he decides to be this world's Superman.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good. I liked it. I think DC's been doing some good stuff with their Elseworlds
Yeah.
books recently. Like I like that they did the Gotham by Gaslight stuff. Those books were all pretty good. Yeah, this is written by Henry Porter, art by Danny Earls. Yeah, good looking book.
Nice.
I think if you like Superman, you'll like this. But I think also if you just like the DC Elseworlds, this is solid. I don't know if they've done a story like this before. It seems kind of.
I know that the parent Jor-El, and I can't think of Superman's mother's name.
Lar-El, I think.
Yeah. So they are characters in like the DC. What is the name of that? That medieval one.
Dark Knights of Steel.
Dark Knights of Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the closest thing I can think of.
Yeah.
I'm including them.
Well, cool. Yeah, I liked it. I recommend it.
Nice.
So that's. I think we're gonna leave it there. That's really all I got. I don't have too much other new stuff. There were a few other trades I almost grabbed to show off. Oh gosh, the that J.H. Williams, the third book. I meant to grab it and I forgot. Is it Dust to Dust? I've been showing off the issues as it came out, and I was going to show off the trade and I forgot. So that comes out tomorrow. So if you've seen me talk about that cool J.H. Williams, that's all like a murder mystery set in Dust Bowl, Oklahoma. We got the collected edition is out. I don't have it here to show you, but it is out. But yeah, so we're going to call it there. Like our friend Dan says, there's comics out there for everybody. It's not just superheroes. Sometimes it's detective stories or
Archie.
yeah, there's always Archie.
Yeah.
You set your watch by Archie. But yeah, so come on down, Fantasy Books and Games, buy some comics, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.